We're going to record this Jumpstart training because this is what you want to do, and the record of this is what you want to give to any new distributor that's getting ready to do something. They're signing up, and they say, I'd sign up, but I don't know how to do it. And what you can say says, I tell you what, take this tool and learn what's in here. Because you don't want to spend your time all the time. You can't to train everyone. And so you use the tools. And so this is a tool that you're going to be able to use. So I'm going to share my screen here now, and I'm going to bring up a PowerPoint. Okay. And we call this our Activz Jumpstart Training. Get a jump on your financial freedom. And so how do you get started? You get into the business, you sign up, and everybody knows that when you buy your first pack, how much money do you make? You don't make any. You only make money when you help the company actually begin to develop this business through you. So we have a blueprint for success. And the blueprint for success is we have in 7 different steps, which we're going to go to. One is know your why and your goals. We'll go over this in a little more detail. Your list, which is a database of people. Learn how to give a brief invitation. Avoid Death Valley, which is talking too much. Present the opportunity. Do a 3-way call to provide validation, and then help new consultants. So first of all, number 1, determine your why and your goals. And a lot of people, they join this business for a variety of different things. Some say, well, I joined because I want to help others improve their health. That's a good why. But maybe you want to pay off debts, you want to increase savings. There's a lot of people, maybe they're 10 years out from retirement, and they have no idea how they're going to finance their retirement. And now's a good way to begin to do that. It's like I told this fellow that a very successful businessman that I met Sunday at Niagara Falls. I said, so let me ask you a question, how much would it benefit you if in 4 or 5 years you were making an extra $10,000 a month that would come in month after month after month because you have shared this information with 5,000 buses that came in? And he says, sounds good to me. Now, wasn't promising anything, but that is something that people do in this business. Maybe people want to build savings. They want to provide more for charity. Maybe they just really need financial freedom. There's a lot of people that an extra $200 to $500 a month would totally keep them out of bankruptcy, would totally set them free. Maybe you just need more time. I was talking with a fella that he's a very wealthy business consultant, and he flies all over the place. And he was at our business, and he was doing a great job. He's very well paid. And I said to him, how much longer are you able to keep up his pace? You're in one state, and then you're in another state, and he never knows the next day where he will be because his company's flying him. And this past weekend, he was trying to contact with me. He was driving to Nevada. He had to do a meeting in Nevada on Saturday. It was just crazy. And he doesn't have time freedom with his wife and with his family. And so some people, they have the finances, but they don't have the time freedom. Why? Because they're trading time for money. There's other people that they say, okay, what am I going to do when I retire? And for me, this is one of my retirement things that I will do to continue to help people to begin to continue to build something and to focus and see what all I can do with this. So a couple things. What are your goals? It's good to sit down and say, what are my goals? When do you want to be A3, A6, A10 in the plan and the volume? So begin to determine your why. What's my why? Well, people have asked me, what is my why? And my why is to help people to become who they were designed to be. There's a lot of people that they're not really living up to the full potential that God created them to be. And this is one of the tools that I use to help to develop and to train and to lead them to become who they were designed to be. And I don't believe that we need let me put it this way. Too many people are laying around sick, or they're laying around in pain. When you are in pain, you're not able to focus on others or on your mission. So you can put up, for some people, they want to spend more time with their grandkids. Some people, they want to travel. Some, they just want to be healthier. And some, they want to help get their kids through college. They want a bigger house for their growing family. A lot of different things, etc. Figure that out, on what that is for yourself. And you can put some pictures up on what that might be, on why I'm doing this. So why is it important to have a strong why and to know your why? Is because with any business, it's not always fun. It's not always easy. Sometimes people laugh at you. Sometimes they turn you down. So it's important to understand, why am I doing this? And if you're doing it, let's say, to get kids through college, and somebody laughs at you and say, that's crazy. That's a pyramid scheme. You go back and you look at your kids and you say, you know what? I'm doing this because I'm putting them through college. And so that why will keep you going. So once you develop your why and you begin to look, where do you want to be with your goals? You begin to create your written list. What's it is? This is people that you know, have known, have maybe went to school with, maybe worked with, maybe went to church with, maybe were on a baseball team together, coached Little League or whatever. A list of people. So who do you put in? Everybody, absolutely everybody you've ever known. Okay, friends, family, work, people that are on your cell phone, on Facebook, on Twitter, professional people. Where do you get your car fixed on? Who does your wife's hair? All sorts of things. You begin to write that down. And one advantage that I have is in my business is I talk to a lot of people. And often after they call and I solve whatever problem they have, I said, hey, can I ask you another question? Yeah, sure. How would you be interested if I said, you've been in business for 5 years, 7 years, 10, whatever they've been. I said, you've created quite a list of people, haven't you? Yeah. What if I could show you a way that you could reach out to those people and create a residual stream of income that would go on month after month after month every month? Would you be interested in looking at that? I've never had anybody flat turn me down. Okay. Why? Because I tell them, the most valuable thing that you have as a business person are the relationships of trust that you've built in your life. And so if you can take that, and if you can provide more value to them, that's going to create more value for you. And so that's a great way of talking with business people. Say, you must have a great, a list of people that you've done business with. What if I could show you a way that you could add more value to them and create an additional income stream that would go month after month after month in your own life? That's pretty good. So you create your contact list. Don't prejudge people. We have tools such as List Builder and Memory Jogger. That is on, if you go to our Facebook page, Activation 2.0, on the files, you can get the Memory Jogger, which will jog your memory about who do you know. Just write them all down, and actually you should have hundreds of people. I'm not saying call them all now. I'm just saying put them in there. That's kind of like someday you're going to mention to someone that you have something really valuable you think they should look at. So you want to begin to prioritize your list. Who should you talk to first? Because there's some people that with our products, it's like, oh boy, I know they're hurting physically. I know they're hurting financially. I need to talk to them as soon as possible. So you want a priority. Or there are other people that's like, man, I know they're just hurting financially. I know they need something. Or she just decided to be a stay-at-home mom and she needs some help. I need to show her this. And so absolutely prioritize your list. Then you begin, after that, after you prioritize the list, you begin to set up a meeting. It could be what we call a launch 60 call, which is very simply, is you text 60 people and say, hey, I'm doing something new. I wanted to let you know about it. And rather than call everyone, I have someone that's going to do a five-minute phone call at 2:30. You available to get on? That's all you say. And then at 2:30, we do a conference call, explain very quickly within 5 minutes what we're doing. And if you want more information, they can follow. And then they know a little bit of what you're doing. It's a very good way of beginning to introduce to people that, hey, I'm doing something new. I wanted to let you know about it. And no pressure, but we'll go from there. You can set meetings with people in a coffee shop, gym, restaurant. Now, here's something you don't do, okay? Don't invite a couple over to your house for a meeting and they're like, oh, great, it's been a while to get us together. And then when you sit there together and say, hey, I got an opportunity for you. No, no, no. Be honest, be open with people, okay? And it's okay to call them up and say, hey, I'm doing something new and it may or may not be anything you'll be interested in, but I thought about you and I was wondering if we could sit together. I could show you what I'm doing and maybe you could give me pointers, maybe you could give me advice, or maybe you could, or maybe you'll be interested in seeing what I'm doing. So there's some things like that that you can do. If you do have a meeting at your home, sometimes we'll invite people over your home and sometimes I might come and share what my story is, etc. Have some healthy snack and water if they're at your home. Don't put on a spread because then anybody else feels like, oh, if I do it, doing a big spread. So that's a really, why is this not going to the next slide? All right, I'm going to try this. Okay. Let's do this again and play. All right. The next thing that you want to do once you want to set up a meeting, this is actually a skill that you need to learn and is a brief invitation. So how do you begin to share something really valuable with someone that they haven't a clue about? They don't know what to do. They have no idea. And maybe you haven't seen them for a while. So what do? Here's the key. Ask them lots of questions. If I'm behind somebody in line at the grocery store or at Walmart, I begin to strike up a conversation. I begin to ask lots of questions. Why? Because I want to kind of find out about them. And a lot of times people, if you ask enough questions, they will tell you why they need to hear about your business. Oh, how are the kids? Great. Oh, kids, et cetera. And you begin to ask questions and stuff, and you find, oh, she's really would rather stay at home. She would rather be with her kids, but with their finances being tight, they just don't have time. And so, and then she's told you her why. She would love to stay at home, spend time with her kids. Folks, that's a powerful why, okay? And once you find out their why, you can begin to say, hey, let me ask you a question. If I could show you a way that you could take care of your finances and stay at home and your kids working from home, would you be interested in seeing it? Say, yeah, okay. Then I'll tell you what. Let me text you and we'll set up a time when we could meet, okay? So a lot of questions, really important. Why? Because if you just say, hey, I got some product, you want to buy some? Then you're a salesman. But if you're helping them solve a problem, now you're collaborating with them as a friend. Some questions you can ask and say, hey, you know anyone that battles health issues that really needs help? Yeah, just about everybody, right? Or how about, hey, I just saw a business idea, and this is for somebody that maybe is successful in business. I'd like your help to review it. Could you check it out for me? I'd appreciate your opinion. So we get it, and you know what? They might have a good opinion for you. They might have good advice for you, And they might look at that and say, you got to be kidding me. This company is just having their ribbon cutting. This company is just getting started. The leadership of this company took the last company from losing $1 million a month, that where in 4 years they were a $250 million annual company. You're kidding me. How can I do this? And so, you know, et cetera, whatever intrigues them. So another question that I've often heard asked is, do you keep your options open for developing additional streams of income? Or like the one I said, you have a nice database. This is to a business person. Would you be interested if I could show you how to add value to each of them and to develop an additional income stream yourself that would go month after month after month? Business people love that. So again, for a successful business person, you might, hey, you're a successful whatever, and I have the ability to do that. It'd mean a lot to me if I could get your opinion on something new that I just started. Could you help me? Again, a genuine compliment, like, hey, you are really good at organizing things, and I've always respected your ability to organize things. I'm starting something new. Could you look at it? You might be able to help me on know how I should organize better so that I could be more successful. Could you help me? If you give them a genuine compliment, that opens up people's heart. Yeah, I'd help you. Okay. Now, if you go up and say, hey, I got an opportunity I want you to look at. I think you could do better because you're in this dead-end job. Yeah, that's not very sensitive. That's not going to work. So the invitation, keep it short. Don't try to explain what we're doing. Don't say, hey, 10 years ago, they developed some NRF2 technology by Dr. Bill McCord, who won this award and that award. And, and all of a sudden you get bogged down. Do not try to explain it. Just say, hey, could you do me a favor, and give a date, time, location. I'd like to get together with you. I want your opinion. I want to show you something. If you're new, say, I have to practice this, for a few people. Could I practice on you? Okay, which you do. You do have to practice on people. I give you that assignment. You need to go practice on 20 people. So the next 20 people, you say, I have to practice this, and I'm not very good at it. Could you help me? And then go from there. So if you set up a meeting, then remind them by text or phone call the day before or the day of the meeting. Texting works best. Remember, avoid Death Valley. What's Death Valley? When you try to explain everything. Okay? If you are really good and you're really scientific and you know everything, guess what? They'll think they have to. Okay? The less you say, the more you make. And don't confuse the invitation with the presentation. You're not a health expert, okay? You are someone that introduces an idea to someone, okay? Your job is to get people to see, and we used to have lifeactivators.net. Actually, we use activation2 or squared .com, activation2.com. So when they ask you what it is, what do you say? Well, you can say something. Have you heard of oxidative stress? Okay. Well, you can go to PubMed.gov and you can search oxidative stress. And there's a doctor that broke out an earth-changing discovery to naturally solve that problem. Okay. And so if they really need an answer, you can give them something like that, because bottom line is we can point them to people that are experts, okay? You don't have to be the expert. If you're the expert, then they think they have to be an expert and they can't do this. If all you're doing is saying, you know what, I have the phone number of a great doctor, I have someone else that can, that I can point you to, then that's great, okay? So like with the business consultant, I said, you know what, I can get you a phone call with the CEO of this company to answer all your questions. He said, great. Okay. What am I doing? I'm going to I'm doing what is actually later on. So number 5, you're one-on-one with them. And this can be on the phone. This can be a variety of ways. It can actually be texting. But you tell your quick story. and I tell my quick story. I send them to the website activation2.com. There's different videos. There's one of the pages is presentations. You can pick one that you like yourself or that you think fits. There's a Christina Godoy, who is a single mom. She's the #1 distributor in her company. There's myself, I did one. There's I think Justin has one there. There's different ones that you can pick that might you feel be the best approach for that person. So when you're done, you want to ask them, so you have any questions? Or what stood out best to you? What'd you like best? And you want them to have questions. Why? Because you are going to have set up someone else that can answer their questions. You don't want to be the one to answer their questions. Why? That's going to create validation. And we have some great doctors. We have some very successful people. We have others, maybe it's a nurse and they want to talk to another nurse. So resolve their concerns, and then you close and say, okay, what do you want to do? You want to always take them to the next step. And say, well, what you want to think about that? So some will say, well, how do I sign up? They want to sign up on the spot. That's fine. But then we always want to know what we're going to take them to next. What information? Or like, I'm going to send you a link it's on our Facebook page of Kurt's interview with the president of the company, or the Kurt's interview with the CEO of the company. I want you to listen to that, and maybe that'll answer some of your questions. Use the tools. We have a lot of tools there. So when you present the opportunity, your excitement, your enthusiasm, your commitment are critical. I was just watching a training from my mentor, and he was saying that, one of the most important things is that you are absolutely committed, okay, that you have really bought into it. And remember, you're not the expert. We point them to the experts, the 3-way phone call, and to PubMed.gov. That's how we present it to people. This is a business where people are helping people. So that's really so vitally important. And again, that we go to the close, okay, the part of the presentation. What did you like about what you heard? Oh, okay. Normally that will also stood out to you. What questions did you have? Good question. I want to make sure you get the right answer, and I know just who to call, all right, if you're sitting with them. Or if you're on the phone, you can use your phone and you can quickly merge a call, add someone, whoever you have on the line. So that's really important because those people are going to do much, much better than us, than you're going to do, and I'm going to do. They're going to heighten it. If they talk to a doctor, if they talk to the CEO, if they talk to a president, if they talk to a top distributor, that's really, really going to be helpful to you. So we send them to that validation or the 3-way phone call, which we set up in advance, okay? How do we do it? When we get them on the line, we build them up. We say good things, true and honest things, and let whoever our prospect is know how valuable it is and how honored we are to actually talk with them because of this and this and this. You can call them your mentor. You can call them your business partner. Either one of those is fine. I wouldn't call them your upline because that has a lot of maybe negative connotations for some people. So let them do the talking. Let the leader talk. He's going to talk about the credibility of the company. He's going to talk about the timing. He's going to talk about the team. He's going to talk about the products. He's going to talk about some amazing things, and don't interrupt them. I mean, on a rare thing, don't interrupt them. Why? Because that's saying like, you know more than him. So just respect and just honor that person. Now, what I often do, okay, let me just back up here, with whoever the leader's called, I will call them and I say, now listen, we're going to be setting up a 3-way call. This person, let's just say they're a nurse. They're very interested in this, and yet they have a friend that has irritable bowel syndrome or this or that, et cetera, like that. And so I would, if it's a nurse, I probably would put a doctor on. Or I will often give whoever is going to handle that call a heads up so that they know how to tailor their call and that they aren't just like waiting in there cold, okay? But they can really answer some things that might be some of the questions. So that's what we do. So once they sign up, help your new distributors, help them get paid, okay? So the way we do that is, number one, with this company, it's really amazing. Why? Oh, this is jumping around. But number one, if they get a customer their first week, they get $50 credit. If they get 5 customers, they get $200 credit, 5 in the first month. That's really cool. When they begin to say, hey, wow, I get like free product. This is really cool. The other thing is if you can help them, number one, you're going to help them discover their why. You're going to help them develop their list. You're going to help them sort through who should you call first. Maybe even do like a launch 60 call that we do. There's a lot of ways that you can help them. So let's go to help them get paid. And how do you help your distributors? Help them to plug in, help them to plug into trainings, help them plug into our Facebook groups. It's not just Activation 2.0. There's other Facebook groups that they can constantly get information and training on YouTube, etc. Conference calls, Zoom calls, weekly trainings. We have Wednesday at noon Eastern, we have the corporate update call, which I encourage you to get on. We have Tuesday, a Spanish opportunity call, Thursday, a English opportunity call to help send people to, like, say, hey, I saw a new business. Are you doing anything Thursday? 9 o'clock, I'm going to be home. Could you get on this with me? And so then you text them about 8:45, say, hey, don't forget to get on this link. Send it to them again. They can get on the Zoom with their phone, etc. So get on weekly trainings, get on conference calls, etc. And we have in this business, and I'm going to finish with us, 4 pillars of success. On the right there, you can see I just went over to the blueprint, those 7 steps. The next also is very important is personal growth. You always must be growing personally. Read, develop yourself, go out of your comfort zone, develop the 7 core habits that we'll talk about sometime, and then the event cycle. Make sure whenever there's a corporate event, do everything you can. It's important to get there. Meetings like our Monday night meeting, make sure that you can get there. These are important pillars of success. Can you miss one? Well, you can. I just want you to be as successful as possible and to realize that these are critical things. So anyway, core habits, be a product. You be a product of the product. Increase your PV each month with new customers. Each month, add customers, okay? Invest in yourself. Grow personally. Be a team player. That's important. And duplicate. Make sure that what you're doing is duplicatable. Number 6 is do 15 or more presentations a month. Then plug into weekly meetings, calls, and corporate events. These are the core habits of a successful distributor. And the more you learn and the more you begin to put them into practice, you will be successful. Why? Because you might be faster, you might be slower, but you will learn, you will grow, and you will develop. And these, someone says, well, what am I supposed to do? This is what you do, okay? This is what you do. So those are the core habits. The event cycle, present the story 15 times a month. Begin to have a meeting maybe at your home or go to regional trainings or corporate events, do the event cycle, and then personal growth. Again, I'm going this real quickly. We can go deeper more. Read at least 10 pages a day. Grow in some way, whether it's personally, whether it's in leadership, whether it's skills, whether it's your relationship with God. Read and grow, okay? relationships. There's all types of things. Well, one great book that I think is always good to start with is How to Win Friends and Influence People. Is basically teaching you how to love people. In this business, in reality, you know what you need to do is learn to love people every day and express and actually do something for them. That's really going to help your personal growth. Begin to operate outside your comfort zone. Remember, your comfort zone is actually the no growth zone. Practice inviting, practice presenting skills, and learn persistence. And folks, welcome to the team. So that is what we have here for tonight. And I'm going to stop that share and go back to the main page. So I'm going to stop the recording. That's the Jumpstart training, okay? Yep.